Picture this. You're a military veteran, just got home from deployment, and you're checking your mail in your driveway. You're wearing your camo pants and an army t-shirt. And this woman you've never met before marches up to you and demands you go inside and change because your outfit is inappropriate for the neighborhood. Yeah, that actually happened. My name is Derek Mitchell and I'm a veteran. 22 years in the Army, 12 of those with Special Forces. And this is the story of how an HOA Karen made the biggest mistake of her life when she tried to humiliate me for wearing camo, and then met my entire unit. Let me set the scene. About a year ago, I retired from active duty. After 2 decades of service, multiple deployments, I was ready to settle down. My wife Laura and I bought a house in a community called Meadowbrook. Nice neighborhood, good schools for our 2 kids, quiet suburban life. Perfect place to decompress after years of, well, everything I'd been through. The HOA seemed fine at first. Standard stuff. Keep your lawn maintained, no crazy paint colors, regular suburban rules. No problem. I'd spent 20 years following orders. I could handle HOA bylaws. I'd been there about 3 months when it happened. It was a Saturday afternoon. I'd just gotten back from a morning run with some of my old unit buddies who lived nearby. We do that, stay connected, stay fit, stay sane. It helps with the transition. I was wearing my old camo pants and an army t-shirt. Standard workout gear for us. Nothing fancy, just comfortable clothes. I was checking my mailbox when I heard this voice behind me. Excuse me. Excuse me. I turned around. This woman I'd never seen before was power walking toward me. Late 40s, expensive workout clothes, that haircut. You know the one. And she had this expression like she just caught someone committing a crime. Can I help you? I asked. Yes, you absolutely can. I'm Karen Bradford, HOA Vice President. She said it like it was a military rank. And I need to inform you that your attire is completely inappropriate for our community. I looked down at myself. Camo pants, army shirt, running shoes. I'm sorry, what? That camouflage. It's aggressive and militaristic. We have children in this neighborhood. That kind of imagery is not in keeping with our community standards. I just stared at her. It's camo pants. I'm a veteran. I was literally just out for a run. I don't care what you were doing. The HOA has standards about clothing that can be worn in common areas. Camouflage is not acceptable. It makes people uncomfortable. Common areas? I'm standing in my own driveway. Your driveway is visible from the street. That makes it subject to our visual standards policy. I felt this anger starting to build. 22 years. 22 years I'd served. Lost friends. Missed birthdays, anniversaries, years of my kids' lives. And this woman was telling me I couldn't wear army camo in my own driveway? Ma'am, with all due respect, I'm a retired service member. These are standard issue pants. I'm not breaking any laws or HOA rules by wearing them on my own property. Her face got red. Don't you ma'am me in that condescending military tone. I'm telling you as an HOA officer that you need to go inside and change. Now. Or what? Or I'll file a violation report and you'll be fined. Do you understand me? Laura came out of the house then. She'd heard the raised voices. What's going on? Karen turned to her. Are you his wife? You need to tell your husband that his military cosplay is not appropriate for our neighborhood. This isn't a war zone. Laura's expression went ice cold. Did you just call his uniform cosplay? It's not a uniform, it's camouflage pants and it's making residents feel unsafe. My husband served 22 years. He's earned the right to wear whatever the hell he wants on his own property. Language. There are children. Get off our property, I said quietly. Karen pointed at me. You'll be hearing from the HOA board. This isn't over. She walked away, pulling out her phone, already typing furiously. Laura looked at me. Derek, you okay? I was shaking. Not with fear. With rage. 22 years, I said. 22 years, and this woman tells me my uniform is cosplay. That evening I got an email. Official HOA letterhead. Dear Mr. Mitchell, you have been cited for violation of HOA Bylaws Section 19, Article 3, Visual Standards for Common and Visible Areas. Specifically, wearing militaristic or aggressive attire visible from public spaces. Fine, $500. Additionally, you are required to attend a mandatory HOA sensitivity training session to address your confrontational behavior toward an HOA officer. Failure to comply will result in additional fines and potential legal action. I showed Laura. She read it twice. Sensitivity training? For what? Being a veteran. Apparently. What are you going to do? I thought about it. Then I made a phone call. Jake? Hey man, it's Derek. You busy tomorrow? I need a favor. Jake Murphy was my team sergeant for 8 years. One of the best soldiers I ever served with. He lived about 40 minutes away, also retired. What's up, brother? I told him the story. There was silence on the other end. She did what? Called my camo military cosplay, and said it makes the neighborhood feel unsafe. Another pause. Derek, I need the address of this HOA meeting. And I'm making some calls. The mandatory HOA meeting was scheduled for the following Wednesday evening. The email said I was required to attend to address my violations and complete sensitivity training. I didn't respond to the email. I just showed up. The meeting was in the community center. When I walked in, there were about 15 people there. Residents, board members, and Karen at the front table looking very pleased with herself. She stood up when she saw me. Mr. Mitchell, thank you for... The door opened behind me. Jake walked in. 6'3", built like a tank, wearing his old unit t-shirt. Then Marcus walked in behind him. Another SF guy, retired master sergeant. Then Tony. Then Chris. Then Miguel. Then 7 more guys. All wearing something military. Unit shirts, camo pants, tactical boots. My entire old Special Forces unit, 12 guys total, filing into this HOA meeting and taking seats. The room went completely silent. Karen's face went from smug to pale. What is this? Jake stood up. Ma'am, I'm Jake Murphy, retired Army Special Forces. I understand you told my friend here that his service is cosplay, and that his uniform makes your neighborhood feel unsafe. I didn't say. Marcus stood. Actually, ma'am, you did. You told a 22-year veteran that he couldn't wear camo on his own property because it's aggressive. Is that correct? This is a private HOA meeting. Tony stood. We're residents here, ma'am. 3 of us bought houses here. We have every right to attend. It was true. Tony, Chris, and Miguel had all bought in Meadowbrook over the past year. We planned it that way. Brothers staying close. Karen looked at the HOA president, a guy named Robert, for backup. He looked terrified. Jake continued. So let me understand this. Your position is that veterans wearing military clothing on their own property violates HOA standards. Karen stammered. The bylaws state that aggressive or militaristic imagery. Aggressive? Marcus's voice was hard. Ma'am, we've spent a combined total of over 200 years serving this country. We've lost brothers. We've made sacrifices you couldn't possibly understand. And you think us wearing our unit shirts in our own neighborhood is aggressive? I didn't mean. You told Derek his uniform was cosplay, Jake said. You told him to go inside and change. You fined him $500 for wearing camo pants. Another board member, an older woman named Patricia, spoke up nervously. Perhaps there's been a misunderstanding. There's no misunderstanding, I said, standing up. Karen saw me in my driveway wearing camo and decided it made the neighborhood uncomfortable. She demanded I change clothes on my own property. Chris stood. I wear camo every day. Am I making the neighborhood uncomfortable? Miguel stood. I have a flagpole with a Special Forces flag. Is that too militaristic? One by one, every guy stood. 12 combat veterans standing in an HOA meeting, staring down this woman who tried to humiliate one of their brothers. Jake pulled out his phone. I took the liberty of contacting a reporter friend at the local news. They're very interested in a story about an HOA harassing veterans. Should I call her in? Karen went white. We weren't harassing. You fined him for wearing army pants. What would you call it? Robert, the HOA president, stood up quickly. I think we need to review this situation. Perhaps the violation was issued in error. Perhaps. Marcus's voice was ice. The violation is rescinded, Robert said quickly. No fine. And the sensitivity training requirement is withdrawn. And the bylaw? Jake pressed. The one about militaristic attire? Will be reviewed and amended, Robert said, sweat visible on his forehead. Karen tried one more time. But the visual standards? Karen, Robert cut her off. Stop talking. Jake looked around the room. Let me make something very clear. We serve this country so people could live in safe neighborhoods like this. We don't need permission to wear our uniforms. We don't need approval to display our service. And we sure as hell don't need sensitivity training from people who've never served a day. He turned to Karen. You disrespected a brother. You tried to humiliate him for his service. That was a mistake. The meeting ended shortly after. Karen resigned from the board the next week. Rumor was she couldn't handle the shame of the whole neighborhood knowing what she'd done. But the best part? 3 months later, the HOA passed a new resolution. Military members, active or veteran, were explicitly exempted from any dress code restrictions on their own property. And the community organized a Veterans Day ceremony where they honored all the veterans in Meadowbrook. Karen moved out 6 months after that. Sold her house and left. Couldn't face the community. As for me and my unit, we still meet up for runs. Still wear our camo. Still fly our flags. And nobody says a damn word about it. Here's what I learned. Some people have no concept of sacrifice. They see a uniform and think it's a costume. They see veterans and think we're props in some political statement. But when you disrespect one veteran, you disrespect all of us. We're brothers. We're a family. And we protect our own. Karen thought she could bully a veteran into submission over camo pants. She forgot that veterans don't stand alone. We stand together. That $500 fine? Rescinded. That sensitivity training? Canceled. That bylaw about militaristic attire? Eliminated. And 12 Special Forces veterans made it very clear to one HOA Karen that you don't mess with the Brotherhood. Thanks for listening. This is Derek Mitchell, retired Special Forces, signing off. And yes, I'm wearing camo right now. Because I earned that right.